Welcome back to the program. We're now joined by Dr. Gregory McCord, Chief Auxiliary Services Officer for Beaufort County Schools. Dr. McCord, thanks for coming back on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's great when you're here, Doc. Please tell us about what you have in place to identify and aid students who have experienced trauma in their lives.
Well, once again, let me say thank you for having me, because we think that this is an important issue. Here in Beaufort County, we are doing our best to make sure that we are partnering with our local agencies as well as researching across the country to make sure that we have all of the best and highly qualified services that can help us train our staff and bring an awareness to the issues related to trauma and students.
Dr. McCord, how do you identify trauma and how does it impact the learning environment?
That's a great question. Trauma can be identified in many different ways. As we all know as adults, there are certain things that occur in our lives that cause us to press pause or so for our everyday routines. With young people, what we are finding out is that more so than ever before, certain things take place that we would consider to be abnormal and out of the ordinary. And our goal is to make sure that we can identify students that are experiencing such things so that we can provide them with the available resources as opposed to them shutting down. When a student shuts down because school is not the most important thing going on in their lives, it stops all learning.
That's a big point, Doc. How are you training your teachers and staff to identify students who are managing trauma?
Well, recently we had Dennis McKeezy come down and help us lead a conference last Friday discussing, again, how we can identify signs and symptoms related to students that may be experiencing some types of trauma. The EQ plus IQ conference, of course, EQ is emotional intelligence, how well we manage our emotions as well as the emotions of others so that they work with us rather than against us. As we train our staff, we're hoping and we know that they will be better prepared to assist students as well as families when issues occur.
Doc, what do you want our community to better understand about trauma?
Mostly, I want everyone to understand that trauma, again, as I said, is an everyday occurrence for some, but the most important thing is having an outlet, a release, the proper resources to discuss and seek assistance for areas that we're not always capable of handling. For young people, what we see sometimes is that when they express themselves openly because of something that has occurred, they do so in a negative way. We want all of the interactions that we have with young people to be positive so that they can be successful with their educational endeavors.
Dr. McCord, how are you partnering with community members to serve students impacted by trauma?
We're very fortunate here in Beaufort County to partner with local agencies such as COSI, CAPA, Hopeful Horizon. We have Right Direction. We have other services provided to us by law enforcement, as well as the mental health agencies that I mentioned before. As we become more aware of issues, again, our goal is to make sure that we are partnering our kids and our families, as well as any adult that may be experiencing something that we are not ordinarily equipped to handle. By providing these trainings and making sure that we are capable of understanding signs and symptoms, I believe we're doing a better service to everyone.
I agree with that, Doc. Dr. Gregory McCord is Chief Auxiliary Services Officer with Beaufort County Schools. Doc, thanks for everything you're doing for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you again for having us.
Hey, the pleasure's ours.